Why is sampling strategy vital for archaeological site surveys? Imagine trying to understand a huge puzzle with thousands of pieces, but you only get to see a few pieces at a time. That's what archaeologists face when they survey large areas. They can't examine every inch of a site because of limited time, money, and resources. So, they need a smart plan to pick the right spots to study. This plan is called a sampling strategy. It helps them decide where to dig, walk, or look for artifacts. Without a good sampling plan, they might miss important clues about how ancient people lived or moved across the landscape. Sampling involves choosing a smaller part of the whole area to investigate. Think of it like tasting a spoonful of soup to guess how the whole pot tastes. If the sample is chosen carefully, it can tell archaeologists a lot about the entire site. But if they pick the wrong spots, they might get a skewed picture or miss key features altogether. That's why the way they select these spots matters so much. There are different ways to pick these spots. One common method is random sampling. This means selecting locations by chance, like drawing names from a hat. It's fair because every part of the site has an equal chance of being chosen. But it might miss rare or special sites that are hard to find randomly. Another method is systematic sampling. Here, archaeologists divide the area into a grid, like a giant chessboard, and pick every fifth square. This makes sure they cover the whole site evenly. The downside is if artifacts tend to cluster along certain lines or patterns, this method might miss those. Stratified sampling is another approach. It involves dividing the area into different zones based on natural features like elevation, soil type, or vegetation. Then, archaeologists pick samples from each zone proportionally. This way, they get a better picture of how different parts of the landscape were used. For example, they might study higher ground differently from low-lying areas where water might have influenced settlement choices. Sometimes, archaeologists use judgmental sampling. They pick spots based on what they already know or see. If they find a promising area with artifacts sticking out of the ground, they might focus there. This method is useful when they want to study known sites or features, but it can also lead to missing unknown or hidden sites that don't look obvious. Choosing the right sampling strategy is like picking the right tool for a job. If they want to understand how ancient communities spread across different environments, they might use stratified or systematic sampling. If they are looking for specific types of sites, judgmental sampling could be best. The goal is to balance effort with the chance of discovering meaningful information. The way archaeologists pick their sample also affects how confidently they can say what they find applies to the whole area. Probabilistic methods like random, systematic, or stratified sampling give a statistical basis for their conclusions. This means they can say, with some certainty, that their findings representing the larger landscape. Non-probabilistic methods like judgmental sampling don't have this statistical backing, so their results are more limited. In the end, a well-thought-out sampling strategy saves time, money, and effort. It helps archaeologists gather reliable data, understand human behavior, and interpret how ancient people interacted with their environment. Picking the right spots to study isn't just about luck. It's about making smart choices that lead to meaningful discoveries.